Okay, so I'm just going to jump right to the elephant in the room because this was a big bomb trying to drop on everybody, Dakota, and it's what everybody's buzzing about. And kudos to you for doing it because talk about ramping up your tour de terror, factor. And Alex and Tanner, let me know if this was your response when Dakota dropped this bomb on you guys. Okay, ready? No flashlights, really? Why?
It's just, honestly, we've all agreed, like Alex introduced it last season, actually. He took away our flashlights, and after that night, we were all like, that was so much scarier without the light. And that's kind of where the idea came from. And going into the season, I wanted to do something to amplify the fear more than ever before. So taking away our flashlights from the very start of the season was the goal.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I guess I'd forgotten about that till you. That was it. I remember that because I think I didn't get to talk to you guys, or I probably haven't screened that episode if I had talked to you. And I was like, Alex, wow, I didn't know you had that in you. But it's true. This isn't really the first time. But yikes. And then something else that Dakota, I think I was kind of doing a Twitter stalk. You kind of teased like, but will it be no flashlights all season or just one location? So is that any spoilers you can give?
Yeah, it's every episode, every stop, and whenever we're in a group, we can have flashlights because that's just ultimately not as scary. We're with a group. But anytime you go alone, whether it's sleeping alone or some sort of a solo isolation experiment, you don't get a flashlight. So as you know, every episode we do sleep alone at the end of the night. So every single time we are alone, there's no lights. And it brought about some major challenges, some near tragic accidents, but it was awesome.
That is a Dakota quote right there. Near tragic accidents, no, but it's awesome. It's so funny. And what did that? Like, what have you guys learned now from this? Like, this no flashlight thing is blowing my mind because I can't even imagine. But is there anything you guys have really learned that you're like, okay, when I don't have the flashlight, I need to do this or?
It's interesting. I mean, we've done experiments with limited light and taking away other senses, but I think the big thing that at least I personally learned is to rely on my other senses, such as, hearing. I tend to focus way more on that kind of stuff because it's the only thing that I have to base my surroundings off of. So I catch myself listening a lot more intently, and yeah, I learned how scary it is every night in a row. I mean, we've done this before where I took the flashlights away and I was terrified then, but to do it back to back to back really does heighten our fear levels. And that's the whole point of the show is we believe the heightened fear kind of lets paranormal energies feed off of you. And it definitely showed this season. It definitely showed.
Whoa. So season 4, you guys are saying this maybe could be your scariest season?
I mean, it's definitely the scariest it was the scariest for us in the moment because just the no flashlight thing, it's so hard to explain how much more scary it is, but it just completely amplified the fear. But because of that, like we did have things happen this season that I would say are the scariest of all time. And I could probably credit that to the no flashlights, just us really being in the moment and isolated and full of fear.
Oh my gosh, that's I can't wait to see that. It just, to me, it sounds like I said, just terrified. I'm like, what? Why? No, but because of what you guys do, and that's why the rest of us like to live vicariously through you. You be the guinea pig. And then, so on for Tanner's location, in the description, the episode description, it says for the Old Historic Harriman Hospital that you may have found the GOAT, greatest of all time, of haunted locations. Did you?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is a location that when I found it, I was really excited because it's never been seen on TV before. And those are kind of those special ones for all of us to find, because we like to kind of not take ownership of it, but like to introduce it to, you know, all of our audience. I mean, we've gone to a lot of like historical places, a lot of famous and infamous places before, but when we find a place that is never before seen, we jump at the drop of a hat to make it happen. And yeah, this place was massive. It's Old Harriman Hospital, and what happened that night, it definitely made all of us scream a little bit.
Oh, wow, okay.
A little bit. A lot of it. That episode is full of screams.
I was just like, I don't know, people are going to see it. We screamed a lot.
Wow.
There's a lot of screaming in that one.
So, is this, I don't know if you guys can say or not, but out of all of the places that you, like, what is the scream factor? Was that definitely the biggest scream one, or?
Ooh, honestly, it's hard to say.
Yeah, I know. Like, every location, like, there was, like, a bunch of different screams. Like, I mean, like, even our first location that we went to, there was a bunch of, like, terrifying moments that we were all, like, not ready for. And on top of that, Dakota had us go to the same location the next night. So our first two episodes are actually a back-to-back nights at one location, which was absolutely terrifying and something brand new that we've never done before.
Oh my gosh. And that's is it the Cresson Sanatorium?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So that's a two-parter, and that looks there, because is that where is he a murderer or a serial killer? Like, who?
Yeah.
Does
So there, night one, so we spent 2 nights there, and it was a sanatorium and a prison. And night one, we focused more on the sanatorium side of things. Night two, we focused on the prison, where Joseph Callinger, one of the worst serial killers in the country, was in prison and died in his cell. So we actually were in his cell where he died. And I will say this is a total, like, just me being a fan of the show, but, like, episode 1 is terrifying, and it's so creepy. But when we go back in episode 2, it is a horror movie. Like, episode 2 is so terrifying. Like, the fact that we spent a full night there and, like, got to know the entities there and, like, know what was happening. Any other day, we'd just leave and be done. But then we had to go back, and we all could tell by the end, like, whatever was here wasn't happy to see us again, but it was comfortable with us, and way more comfortable the second time.
Oh my God! And I don't know if you can say ahead of the premiere or not, but was that one of the locations you guys drew to pick into to sell for spending the night?
Wait, sorry, what was that one?
Was you know how you guys pick where the locations to sleep? Was his cell one of those?
Yep, his cell was one of those, but to be honest, it was probably not even the scariest spot to sleep. The person who got the tunnels had it the worst by far.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, and no flashlights.
No flashlights. Wait, though.
I'm just, like, obsessed with that. I just can't wait to see the whole season. That's crazy to me. And then I've got to ask, so Alex, this is kind of interesting, though. So Ashmore Estates, I don't know if you knew before that Dakota was going to follow your lead and take the flashlights away. But really, you guys decided to go back there too?
Yeah, so that was my location pick, and Dakota, Tanner, and Chelsea had all been there during the filming of Trail to Terror, the documentary. And I wasn't there for the filming, so I never got to go. But I heard all of their horror stories. I got to watch the footage. I even got to watch the raw footage of when Dakota was editing it. And it's one of those locations that really stood out to me. It's a location that they all said that they did not want to go back to. And it's the only Trail to Terror location that we haven't revisited on Destination Fear. So I took the opportunity to say, hey, let's check the last one off of your guys' list. I'm bringing you back without you guys even knowing or thinking that I would do something like that. And instead of going in as a group and having the same experience as when they first went, instead of that, I sent everyone in one by one without a flashlight to walk through it solo.
Whoa. So you and I can't put, so Tanner and Dakota, and Chelsea, I'm sorry, she's not here. What were your guys' reactions like when Alex dropped that on you? Were you like, wait, what?
Oh, man. I mean, I was, and I think all of us were just kind of blown away. We weren't expecting to go back to Ashmore Estates because for Dakota, Chelsea, myself, like, that was like our first true test of staying overnight at one of these haunted locations. Like that was like the original location we've ever been to. And that first night in Trail to Terror, like we got some crazy stuff that opened all of our eyes to possibilities that we didn't even realize could happen. I mean, in the documentary Trail to Terror, we caught a full-bodied apparition walking near the stairs, and it completely freaked us out. And we're just like, that first night scared us like no other, because we had no idea what we had in store for ourselves. So the fact that Alex brought us back here, it just brought back all the memories of all the times that we were scared at that location.
Oh my
God. I mean, like, when you're in the Midwest, too, when we're on these road trips and we're crossing the Midwest, it's really hard to tell if we're going to be stopping here or just passing through. So when we hit Illinois, I didn't even think about Ashmore. And next thing you know, we're pulling up to it. And Alex, like, that's where we read the packet. Like, Alex brought us there. We get out of the RV, and we're in front of it. Like, what the hell, we're back? And then he gives us the packet, we read it, and then we start our night. Like, there was, like, no prep. It was just, like, all that was thrown at us at once.
Oh, my gosh, Alex, I didn't know, you don't seem that way on the show, that you would have this ornery streak in you, but wow.
I got a dark side to me. I don't like to get picked on, but when I get a chance to dish it out, I'm going to take full advantage of that.
Alex could be a bad boy. Alex could be a bit of a bad boy.
that sounds like it. Wow. Okay. So, and then I'm going to wrap it up because I know our time's running out. But one last question that I noticed some people on Twitter wanted to know: do you have any plans to do a live stream before the new season premieres?
Yes, I think so. I think we'll be going live on like Instagram, and I was going to try maybe even a couple of the platforms like Facebook and even Twitter. But yeah, we're definitely going to do at least one live before we air this season.
Oh, that's awesome. I know people are going to be excited about that. Okay, well, thank you guys for being patient while I set everything up and for making time to talk with me. I so much appreciate you. You guys, as always, are awesome.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we will talk to you anytime.
That's how I feel. I'm so glad you made time. Thank you, and congrats on season 4. I'm so excited it's here.
Thank you so much.